Local and live. Covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState.
Dan DeDona here with the localnews1.org weekly report for Hagerstown, Chambersburg, Smithsburg, Fairfield, Waynesboro, and all the communities that make up our local area. We're here today with we're going to open up with the 5 things to do this weekend. This will be the 20th of February edition, the I Can Almost See Spring from Here version. And we're going to be starting off in Chambersburg, where 30 local authors will be gathering at the Grove Family Library for its annual author fair. They'll be celebrating community creativity and the written word. It'll be held on Saturday, the 21st of Feb. That'll be tomorrow, from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the 101 Ragged Edge Road South in Chambersburg facility. They'll feature writers of children's books, young adult fiction, history, and a variety of local topics. There will be some prizes. You can learn about the work, and there will be a drawing for a Kindle Fire HD 8. So, good deal there. Second up, Main Street, Waynesboro will be hosting its Snowman Sip and Stroll, also on Saturday, this time from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Participants can pick up a passport at 66 West Main Street before visiting participating businesses. And you'll be able to sample beer, wine, spirits, and explore all local shops. It ends at Trigger's Table and Tap Room. And for those who complete their passports, they'll have a chance to win prizes. Tickets are $25 online, $30 at the door, and you must be 21 or older to join in on the fun. Third item up, in Fort Loudon, they're having their first ever Cocoa Crawl. This will be a new community event celebrating all things chocolate. The family-friendly event will be held from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, the 21st, at the Fort Loudon Community Center, 142 Mullen Street. Organizers say the details of Coco's, it's still emerging. Apparently they still got the door open for registration, but it should be a good time. Fourth item up on the list. For those of you who are seafood lovers, you are going to want to head for the Marion Volunteer Fire Company's All-You-Can-Eat Seafood Fest. Also on Saturday, really packing them in this Saturday, at the firehouse at 5465 Molly Pitcher Highway in Chambersburg. The meal is going to be served from 5 to 8 p.m., but the doors are open at 3:30 p.m., and guests can try their luck with fish bowls and pull tabs throughout the evening. Tickets are $60 for adults. That's anybody over 13, so all you teenagers, congratulations, you just joined the ranks, at least for one event. And $25 for children's ages 7 to 12. Kids under 6 eat free. All proceeds will be benefiting the Marion Volunteer Fire Company. And number 5 on the list is Viva's on Potomac in downtown Hagerstown is going to be transforming into a 90s time capsule for a themed brunch party on Sunday, February 22nd from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. They'll have a DJ, in Harmony DJs, spinning hits from Biggie to Britney while enjoying brunch favorites and bubbly at 38 South Potomac Street. The event should be good. There is going to be a strict 90s dress code, though, so you need to be thinking baggy jeans, windbreakers, and bucket hats. I've actually never heard of a bucket hat. At any rate, seating is limited, so those interested are encouraged to email for tickets. And we have 3 additional things that are going to be taking place. Didn't make the first cut. First off is the Chambersburg Community Theater, who's been advertising this for quite some time, is going to be bringing the acclaimed drama August Osage County to the Woods Center at the Capitol Theater in Chambersburg. That's going to be running this entire weekend, starting today, the 20th, and going through the 22nd. Performances are going to be scheduled for 7 p.m. on Friday, and on 1 and at 7 p.m. on Saturday, and on Sunday, the 22nd, there'll be a 2 p.m. matinee. The play features a cast of seasoned performers who capture what are referred to as the fraught dynamics of a family whose members reunite under one roof, and they start confronting some long-buried secrets in the family. It's a great play. It's described by critics as gripping and darkly funny. Tickets and additional details are available through the Capitol Theater's box office online. The seventh item, the Franklin County Historical Society Catoctony, in collaboration with the Barrel House, is going to be hosting a Revolutionary Era Trivia Night Sunday, February 22nd, as part of local celebrations marking America's 250th anniversary. The event's going to take place between 1 and 5 p.m. at the Barrel House in Chambersburg. The trivia competition itself will run from 2 until 4 p.m. Organizers say that teams can include up anywhere from 2 to 10 participants. You must be at least 16 years old to participate, and 21 or older to purchase alcoholic beverages. Food will be provided by Chef John, and drinks will be available for purchase through the Barrel House. Others are also participating. Go out and check out the archive history at franklinhistorical.org for more information. And the last item on the list, part of what makes this an I can almost see spring weekend, and we certainly hope the weather cooperates, is baseball is going to be returning to Meritus Park this weekend down in Hagerstown. Hood College and St. Mary's College of Maryland are going to be facing off in a non-conference weekend series. Actually 3 games. There'll be a doubleheader scheduled to start at noon on Saturday, and there'll be a single game on Sunday set for 3 p.m. first pitch. Free admission for everybody, so if you just want to come in and see a game, there's also going to be some activities indoors for sponsors and seasons tickets and so on and so forth. But the big deal is you get to see some pretty good baseball pretty early in the season. Keep your fingers crossed for some warm weather. Those guys got to be tough. I remember back when I played, you did not want to hit a ball on the end of the bat in cold weather. It just makes a mess of your hands. So keep your fingers crossed. So that's it for the 5 things to do this weekend. Moving on to the events that have shaped the community in the past week, starting with Smithsburg. Touching on another water story. Now, a couple of years ago, Smithsburg announced that it had gotten some grants. I think it was something on the order of $2.3 or $2.4 million to start improving and restoring a lot of old pipes. Their water pipe system was about 70 years old, and it was about time. Well, they just got a report from a consultant that says even though you've planned for this, you're going to need to spend. You're going to need to find more grants or do something, because it's going to be more expensive than you originally anticipated for all these infrastructure upgrades. They have a number of choices between them. One alternative would be to take on some long-term debt. There is, of course, the possibility of rate increases, which apparently would almost double current rates. The council is leaning away from that alternative for a lot of obvious reasons. They also, because it's an old system, all water systems leak water to a certain extent, but apparently the amount of water that's leaking from the Smithsburg system is quite high. So one of their recommendations is you could probably extend the utility of your existing system while you find financing to complete the renovation and upgrade. If you could just stop some of these leaks. So literally millions of gallons of water every year get lost. It doesn't seem to matter which system it is. An awful lot of water gets lost every year, so something to think about. The Franklin County Commissioners have proposed a data center ordinance, which does a combination of things. It provides for increased setbacks for any data center facilities, 1,000 feet from the fence lines, and organic power requirements, one of which was so the roof has to be solar panel ready, and the facility needs to be capable of generating 25% of its own power. There's going to be a 60-day review on this. So This is pretty important because, as most of you have probably seen, data centers are real power hogs. So the concern for most municipalities and most organizations who provide power is, where's the extra power going to come from to power up this new, very power-intensive facility when they're probably within certain margins right now. They're probably doing okay, but there's going to be a lot more demand for power, and they're certainly not going to want to shut housing down. So a lot of things to work through on that. There'll be a public hearing on this on the 1st of April. Franklin commissioners were also taking a look at $1 million for a combined drug use facility with Fulton County. Apparently this is a long-going effort. That's $1 million for the first 6 months of this year. So pretty expensive. I think they get that money from elsewhere. They simply pass it on, but good program. Franklin County is also getting input from anti-ICE people over the sheriff's contract with the Department of Homeland Security. We've covered the details of that before. Apparently, what has been happening is simply more comment and the occasional chants and marching out in front of the facilities. It has not been resolved yet, and to the best of our knowledge, the commissioners did not take it up and did not respond to questions at their last meeting. Hagerstown Airport is, before I go on to that, also in Hagerstown, there's a new facility. Of course, there's additional comment on the ICE holding facility, an old warehouse south of Hagerstown, between Hagerstown and Williamsport, that has been purchased by ICE, by the Department of Homeland Security. It's intended to be about a 1,500 capacity holding facility for people who are about to be deported. They are also drawing a lot of ICE protests over that proposed facility. Hagerstown Airport has got some good news. Allegiant Airlines has released their fall of 2026 schedule, and that'll be effective through November of 26. It includes flights to St. Petersburg and Orlando, Florida, and also to Fort Myers, Myrtle Beach, to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Franklin County Area Development Corporation, Mike Ross, who's president there, is hosting Volvo's general manager, Gustavo Casagrande. This is a pretty big deal. Volvo's got a very large operation in the region. Mr. Casagrande is going to be talking about $40 million in regional investment. He's going to be talking about expansion and new products, manufacturing, and leadership of large organizations like this in general. Should comment that we do, localnews1.org does cover every one of these bi-weekly episodes, which take place on the first and the third Tuesdays of every month. Mike Ross brings in some pretty interesting people, and we post his videos on localnews1.org. At the very bottom of the homepage, you'll find a section that says Media Links, and Mike on the Mic is the name of the program. Click there, and you can get access to all of his podcasts. Washington County has added 202 acres to its Rural Legacy Program. This is where the effort is to see to it that we preserve a lot of rural land for agriculture and greenways and other purposes that don't necessarily involve industrialization. This latest edition of 202 acres pushes them even further over the 43,000 acre mark en route to their objective, which is 50,000 acres. These easements are funded by a lot of money that comes from the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, and it is one of many projects that try to preserve farmland and agricultural land in its current state. Hagerstown is conducting some rezoning hearings for Trolley Drive. There are two of them actually, one at Trolley Drive and Emmert Road, and another at Evergreen at Eastern Boulevard. The first one is kind of a cleanup, apparently in previous efforts to do zoning. There's two adjacent properties that are very different. Makes it very difficult for people to consider buying one or both because of the way they're currently zoned. So they're going to make them both the same. And the other is going to be, the request is to zone it commercial general. So the council is going to be meeting on that topic on the 24th of February. In Waynesboro, the Steve Pappas hearing, this is the gentleman who some time ago was demoted from high school principal to an elementary school principal and who has now chosen a public hearing over the subject of being further demoted from an elementary school principal to an elementary school teacher. That hearing has finally ended. The last of all the material that was going to be presented was finally concluded. There is a board decision pending. There is no specific date that has been announced when that decision will come. It's gotten a lot of popular interest, which also prompted a former school district member to send in a piece to our Voices section where we invite people to come in and give us comments. And this particular gentleman, with respect to the Pappas hearings, he's asking the board to just simply do the right thing. Don't be excessively influenced by what the 150 or 200 people in the crowd or some of these petitions that are being, you got to do the right thing with respect to Pappas based upon whatever the facts and the evidence available is, regardless of what the crowd thinks. There have been so many cases of places where officials get swayed by people who are chanting and definitely in favor and arguing loudly in favor of one decision. I think the gentleman makes a good point. The school board really needs to make a decision based on the facts. In Maryland, Senator Paul Quarterman and others are calling attention to Senate Bill 640. This is a bill that is aimed at closing some gaps in the post-conviction process. There's a specific case that got everybody's attention here. There was a mother who was apparently highly negligent, so negligent that her child actually died. So the mother went to trial and she was convicted. But then after she was convicted, she was released before her sentencing hearing. And she's now in the wind, so to speak. She's a fugitive. So apparently there are some holes in what happens after you've convicted somebody. Simply putting them out on the street doesn't strike me as a particularly good idea, but apparently the law in Maryland allowed that. So this particular state Senate bill 640 is aimed at looking at this gap and some other gaps in how they treat people after they've been convicted. In Pennsylvania, State Representative Chad Reichard is offering assistance for qualifying residents on property tax and rent rebate applications. There's a lot of details on that. Generally speaking, it applies to older people. These are concessions in state law that if they apply for it, they can get some relief as they're living on a fixed income. They can get some relief from some property taxes and rental rebates from the state. So these sessions, Mr. Reichard's office is going to be offering them every Monday. You need to call his office for a 30-minute appointment to help identify what the forms are and with some help on filling them out. Next up, at Hagerstown Community College, they have announced a number of spring courses which are intended to sharpen up people's business skills. There's a range of topics. These courses will be made available between the 4th of March and the 14th of May. Topics include podcasts, advanced nonprofit management, AI, and leadership topics. Let's see. In police news, a couple of items. The first one's pretty important. In Greene County, which is up in the northern end of our coverage area, north of Greencastle, a 15-year-old died in a shooting on the 15th of February. Excuse me. Another 15-year-old from Fulton County and a 17-year-old from West Virginia have both been charged in the shooting. The young man died on the spot. He was given aid by the police who showed up, but he subsequently was transported to the hospital and passed away. So that's an ongoing effort. There was also a fire in Southampton Township, also in the northern segment of our coverage area, where 3 dogs were killed. Fortunately, there were no people there, but 3 dogs were killed in the fire. The cause is under investigation. Apparently, nobody's quite sure exactly why it broke out. One other thing with respect to legal matters, Pennsylvania dog licenses. I did not know this. Pennsylvania dog licenses expire every December 31st, and they have to be renewed, or you're not legal. And enforcement actions, I guess this is a concession to people to give them some time over the winter to go out and get a new license, but enforcement doesn't start until March. There's a lot of good benefits to having a dog tag, not the least of which is if the dog gets away and somebody wants to know who the dog belongs to, that dog license will lead them right back to you. And it's even better in some cases than having a chip installed or anything like that. So the whole process works more rapidly. There is a $500 per dog fine if you get caught not having an adequate license, and you also have to pay for legal fees. So you probably want to take a look at that. You still got a couple of weeks before the state begins enforcement actions. Under people news, there's quite a few things. Last week we talked about the Smithsburg Leopards being 18-0. Well, on the 18th, they went 19-0, and in the process, their player Claire Bono got her 1,000th point in her high school career. That's a lot of shooting. So they're both 21-0, and she got her 1,000th point. And the very next day, on the 19th, they beat Brunswick. So the team, as of the 19th, was 22-0. 22-0. That is a crazy good performance. Congratulations, lady. Outstanding work. North Hagerstown's Walker Mason won the 3,200-meter run at the Maryland Class 3A State Indoor Track and Field Championships. This is the first time a Hagerstown runner had won that particular event in over 20 years. This is kind of interesting because I was told the other day, and I did not know this, but there was a period in the 80s and the 90s, I think if I recall correctly, when Hagerstown was literally the center of Olympic runners. If you looked at the people who were competing in the Olympics, Hagerstown had people there all the time. That went on for a couple of decades. Apparently that era has passed. But maybe this win will be the start of a new era for Hagerstown. Meanwhile, at the same tournament in the Maryland Class 1A division, Smithsburg's Dylan Herbst earned 26 points and led the Leopards to a win in the Maryland Class 1A competition. So congratulations to you all. Hagerstown's Kevin Naylor was recognized for contributions in coaching at not one but two, or I should say both, Hagerstown high schools. He's a basketball coach who did some very good things there, and his award was presented both for on and off the court actions and general leadership that he offered to his students and to the community over that period of time. And finally, under health news, WellSpan Winter Streak. This is a program consisting of 8 different programs, 6 of which, 6 programs, 4 of which have already taken place as of the 18th, just yesterday, or 2 days ago. There will be 2 more sessions on the 3rd and the 18th of March. The reason WellSpan does this is they recognize that during the wintertime, people don't necessarily exercise or eat right or do a lot of things that they probably should. Kind of closed in, so you're kind of shutting down. So what they've done is they present these virtual sessions that you can tune into, and they'll help you with any number of different topics. The two coming up are going to be cooking and yoga. As I say, they are virtual sessions. The next ones will be taking place on the 3rd and the 18th of March, so you might want to take a look at that. Okay, there's a lot of other things in localnews1.org that you'll want to take a look at. It's much more than what you'll find by simply spending hours and hours in social media, where you might stumble across some news, but how would you know exactly? We're very proud to be the news source for Verstandig Media, and you can see all the local news at localnews1.org, all local, no national. There's nobody else that's trying to cover just the local things that are happening in your immediate vicinity, so you know what's going on. And we will close this week with a thought of the day from medical science. A gentleman was recently reported to have fallen into an upholstery machine. He's fully recovered now. Bada bing. Have a good week.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.